Hi, this is Alex for ShinyShiny and Tech Digest with the Sony Ericsson P1i smartphone. It's a Symbian operating system smartphone, which is something I hadn't been that familiar with before. All the smartphones I've looked at in any detail up until now have really been Windows Mobile. But I found it really phenomenally easy to navigate the interface, which is mostly comprised of sort of little menu buttons across the bottom. There's various ways of navigating the screen. Now, it is a touch screen. It does have a stylus. Buried up here. Slightly strange place to put a stylus. I always think it should be at the bottom because whether you're left or right-handed, you'll probably want to... But anyway, another issue. But there's also a track wheel down the side to navigate as well. And there's a back button there, so that if you're in an application you want to get out of it, the back button's not obvious, you can just exit from there. Really, really simple, easy to use phone. It took me a while to get used to the keypad because they've got something that it's quite similar to some of the Shure type keypads. That used to be used with some of the BlackBerry phones, the ones where they kind of have two letters on each numbered keypad, rather than the usual three. Took me a while to get used to that. Handwriting recognition also I found a little bit wobbly, so I tended to use the on-screen keyboard, which I found really, really quick with the stylus. It's using an Opera browser, and it's got 3G, so yeah, reasonably fast download speeds, so you wouldn't have any problems, for example, surfing for video content or anything like that on here. It's also got a system called Track ID, which is run by Grace Notes, which allows you to tape a little bit of something that you've heard and then get it to track the actual tune for you. And I've tried it once and it did work, so I'm really quite impressed with that. What didn't work quite so well was one of the other kind of little icing on the cake features, which was the business card scanner. Worked really, really well on my boyfriend's business card, completely useless on mine because it's not laid out in the traditional fashion. So unless you've got one of the traditional white-backed business cards that actually says tell, mob, etc. down the side, it gets a bit confused. But it works very well if you do have one of those. It's 160 meg built-in memory on this thing, but it does come with a 512 meg micro SD card, which is in here, little side slot down here. So easy to get to when you're not on camera. And I mean, they supply you with that out of the box, which is great, and you can always obviously extend that up to several meg because there is a media player in there as well, so you may want to do that to go to one that's 2 gig or 4 gig. There is, of course, being Sony Ericsson, they're very good at their cameras, and there's a 3.2 megapixel camera on the back, and there's a photo light as well to help you actually keep a good light effect while you're taking pictures. So I know people who buy smartphones aren't always looking for a really adept camera, but this one, you know, is very decent. So if you're looking for something that will be useful for both, that's a good choice. The display is 240 by 320 pixels, so reasonably good. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I can say about it. As a touchscreen smartphone goes, it's a really well thought out combination of features. Everything that I would use, push email and all the rest of it. So yeah, I would recommend it.